Hi everyone, how are y'all doing? Sharon here with Creating with Sharon. I am an independent stepping up demonstrator here in downtown Winnipeg. Hey me. So how are y'all doing? It's been quite the month. We're getting getting quite a bit more rain here. I'm just gonna get in here and share this while I can. I'm just gonna. Oops. Sharon here with Creating with Sharon. I am an independent. Oh, sorry about that. So I just got. There we go. The share button. Oh. Can't even do that. Oh my lord. Not good. Okay, we'll just go in here. Oh. Guess I'm not going to share it. Anyway, okay, so I'm going to be using the Bottle of Happiness stamp set and the punch tonight with some fun cards and some different techniques. Okay, so let's get started. I'm going to just flip you guys around and we will get started. So I don't think I'll be able to see anybody's comments. So, no, okay. So, hey Fran, thanks for joining me. So these are the two cards I'm going to be doing tonight. I'm going to do this one first, a little bit tougher, I guess you would say. All the products that I used are in the description, and along with the dimensions. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I have my card base, which is basic card base, 5.5 by 8.5, fold and scored at 4 1/4. So that's my base. This is this piece right here, which is 4 by 5 1/4, and I am going to emboss that using the bricks and mortar 3D embossing folder. And because it's going to go in this way, I'm going to put it this way. So there's that piece right there, and then I have this piece, which is going to fit on that right there. And this is 3.5 by 4. Is it 3.5? No, 3 by 4. So that's what that size is, and that's going to fit on there. And then I got some scrap papers for the bottles and the little decorations there. Okay, so first things first. I'm going to just emboss this quickly using my cut and emboss machine. And with this one here, you're going to need, because it is a wider one, you are going to need the bigger of the two machines. And just the two plates. So plate number 1 and then plate number 4. And we'll just quickly run this through. If you, sorry, lost my train of thought there. Okay, so now that is just embossed using the brick and mortar embossing folder. Quick, easy card to do. There's another technique in here, what I did with this bottle right here. Okay, so now I'm going to just adhere this piece on to my card base using my liquid glue, which I love. Okay, so I'm going to bring in this piece and just adhere it just like that. Okay, so now we have this piece just like that. It just seems to be off a bit. I did some videos this morning. Probably knocked it off a bit. Okay, so now this piece here, what I'm going to do with that, I should have cut my emboss machine. I am going to emboss this piece here. And I'm using the time-worn embossing folder for that one. I'm just going to show you a little technique that I did on the bottom of that. And basically the same thing, you're going to use plate 1 and plate 4. And that's because it's a little bit thicker. Then the embossing folder is thicker than a regular one because it's got so much dimension in it. Okay. And we have that piece there. Let me just put this guy out of the way. And I don't think I'm going to need it for the next one because it's just a punch. No, we should be good. Okay, so I embossed that piece right there. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in my Early Espresso ink. And you see this piece down here? All I'm going to do is just take my ink, open it all the way up, and then bring my ink probably about, I guess that's just about 3/4 of an inch from the bottom. Just bring my ink and then just bring it down like that. Just to give it a little bit of a worn look like that. Okay? And now I'm just going to put that to the side and let it dry. And I'll just fold this in half. While we got this out, we might as well stamp some images. So I'm going to do this bottle first. And I found when I did this for this one first, is what I did is I stamped in the darker color first. So I'm going to use the Early Espresso and I'm going to stamp this piece here. And then I'll bring in this piece here with a crumb cake. Oops. Looks like they fell apart here. Huh. And then there, and then just take this piece here, which is that one there. We're going to need this one here, this one here, this one, and we're also going to need sending cheer. So we'll need those ones out. And we're going to bring in this one here. So I'm just going to lay it on there and bring in my Very Vanilla. Now I did this 2 different ways. I stamped the full bottle first and then I tried to line it up with this one here, but I found doing it this way, stamping this one first and then bringing in this one was so much easier for myself, if that makes sense. I could see the lines, I guess, because I can just follow the one line. And then I'm going to just ink this up using my crumb cake. And then I'm going to stand up and then just, line everything up with that. Now, like I said, I found it easier. Watch, I hope it worked this time. And it did. A little bit easier to work with for myself. Now I'm going to just put these guys away. I'm going to bring in this piece right here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to ink up this short, fatter bottle. I'm going to stamp it up in Brushstroke, and then I'm going to bring in my Balmy Blue. So ink that up. Then I'm going to stamp it, ink it up in Balmy Blue, and then I'm going to put it onto here. Just like that. Now there's a reason why I did that. I don't know if you noticed. Here, I'll take this out of the clear envelope. But the blue bottle has like a glass appearance to it. So that's why I stamped it in the Versamark, then the ink. And then I'm going to bring in my clear embossing powder and then heat that up to make it look like glass. But first, before we get started on that, because I don't want to do this to the bottle, is I'm going to just punch out the brown bottle using my handy dandy punch. And now I'm just going to bring in my clear. This is just a clear embossing powder. Okay, now where did I put that piece? Oh, here we go. It's been a rough day. Been up since 6 crafting. So, and then I'm just going to sprinkle my clear embossing powder all over the top. Just like that. And I'm going to heat up my heating tool, so it's going to get a little noisy. I'm going to heat it up first because I like to have it hot. People do this different ways. I like to have mine hot before I do anything. And then, okay, so it should be ready. So I'm just going to just take this piece over and then heat this up so it's all nice and shiny. So you can see, sorry for the noise, heat it up and see how it's starting to turn? And it makes it look like it's actual glass. There we go, all done. We'll just let that sit for a minute. We're gonna do some fussy cutting. So now I'm gonna take this piece here, get a smaller block. And I'm gonna stamp that in the, in the balmy blue. We're gonna do a bit of fussy cutting. Ink this up. And then bring in my early espresso and the sending cheers. I'm going to stamp right over top of the label. Make sure you get enough ink on it. Hopefully straight. Oh. Well, let's just see if we can get that over top. Oh, just give me a second here. There we go. There we go. Bang right over top of that. Let's put these guys away before I spill stuff all over the place, like my embossing powder. Okay. So now I've done those guys. So now what I'm going to do is I gotta stamp some leaves too. I need 3 of those puppies. So hopefully I'll be able to get them on here. Yeah, we should be able to do that. So this is the leaves from the stamp set. This leaf right here. Okay. So I'm gonna ink those up and I'm gonna stamp them in the early espresso, and I'm going to try and get 3 of them onto this piece of cardstock. Hopefully I'll be able to do it. 1. I'll take this out of here. It doesn't seem, I can't be stamped. 1, 2, yay. And 1 more. We'll probably get one right in here. Yeah, we will. Look at that. And then 3. So there's 3 ups. It's a lousy one, so let's stamp it on the back here. There we go. Okay, so now I'm gonna locate my scissors. And now I'm gonna do a little bit of fussy cutting. So just quickly around the bigger of that. Yeah, they don't have a punch. They don't have the punch for the tall, skinny one. So, and then around, just like that. I'll just oh, there we go. I'm just letting you guys know I do have a class coming up. It is called the He's the Man card class. The class is, we're going to make 4 cards. You're going to receive half a package of the He's the Man Designer Series paper, half a package of the rustic metallic adhesive dots, and half a roll of the linen thread. And we're going to get together on June the 9th at 6 p.m. and make 4 cards. Easy cards to do. You're going to be using the Designer Series paper that you got, and the He's the Man Designer Series paper comes with I guess die cuts already cut out for you, so we're going to use those. You're going to have enough left over to do, because you're going to get a full sheet of those, but I am going to have to pop them all out in order to get them to into the mail to you. Have enough to do like forever. So, and the cost of the class is $35, postage included. RSVP is by May the 16th. And if you need any more details, just let me know and I'll get them out to you. And if you're on my mailing list, you would have received, oh dear me, you would have received email yesterday in regards to the class coming up, and it is starting to book up. Like, wow, it's a really good price. Like for $35, you get all that stuff. We're going to make 4 cards, but you can definitely make a lot more because you're going to get half a package of the Designer Series paper with that. And it will be cut down to 6 by 12 for you. And I'm not too sure. I'm probably going to take the die cuts out of the out of the package, so I can get them into the mail to you. I wasn't happy with this one here, and it looks like I cut that one off, so I'm just going to just stamp another one. Easy peasy. Get this, might help out a bit too, right? And I'll just ink this up and just stamp it right onto there. There we go, perfect. And then there we go. So this bundle here is perfect for doing masculine cards, and plus it's a bundle, and you don't need to do the dry embossing with the embossing folders. You can leave everything blank and just use the punch and the stamp set to do the cards. Hey Carol, which is this. I guess what I'm saying is that this will be perfect for a beginner or close to it, because all you really need to do is just stamp and punch quite easily. Okay, so I think I got all my pieces cut out. And I'll put those away. Okay, so now let's bring in the card base. So there's the card base. Now I gotta find that piece. Okay, and then we have this piece right here. I'm just gonna just move this all up a bit so you can see. So we have this bottle right here, and we're gonna put Sending Cheers on that. So what we need is our linen thread. So this is a linen thread that you will get, excuse me, in the class. You'll get half a roll of that. I think it's it will be 7.5 yards of that. So I'm just gonna take, that's probably about 2 inches. Just gonna take this and wrap it around the bottle just like that. I'm gonna put my scissors on that to hold it in place. And what I'm going to do on this one here is I'm going to put a dimensional on the back side. So bring the linen thread into the center like that. And probably my fingers are all in the way. I'm going to put the dimensional right about there. So I'm going to hold that linen thread in place. I'm just going to just peel this off. Well, first of all, I'm just going to just take my cheer. I'm just going to trim this one down a bit because I don't want the thread throwing it on the outside. So take the backing off, take my Sending Cheer, and I'm going to put it right about there. I guess I could have taken it down a bit, but let's see if I can do that. Yeah, I can. Yay me. So let's just take it down a bit further. There we go. And then we'll just add that. Just like that. So there's one of the bottles. Now this bottle here, what we're going to do is we're going to take some white thread. I think this is probably from a paper pumpkin or a card kit that I got, but they give you so much, so I just going to take that, wrap it around the top of the bottle, and one, and so it's tiny, I have problems with it, and then let's see, there we go, and then just pull it on through just like that. So it looks like there's been, there we go. So there. Now in order to keep this piece in place, what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in a mini dimensional, and I'm just going to place it on the back side, and just to keep the thread in place, and then I'll just use the bigger ones. Okay, so just dry fit everything. I like to dry fit everything, make sure that everything is going to be perfect. And I'm going to put some dimensionals also on the back of the bigger of the two bottles. One, I think I'm going to do 3, just so it doesn't go anywhere. Okay, so that's going to go right about here. And then this guy here is just going to slide just underneath this one. Oops. Like that. Okay, so now we're going to bring in these guys, and I'm just going to just trim this back a wee bit, and then it's going to slide right into here. And I use dimensionals on these guys too, if you can believe that. I'm just going to just do one and slide one in like that. And then this one here, this was the good one, I'm going to use that on the bottom. This one here, I'm going to trim it up just to almost at the very top there, and then I'm going to throw a dimensional onto the back side of this one, and then have him go up like that. And then this guy, trim him off, and then I'm going to slide him in just like that. But I'm not going to use the dimensional on this one. I'm going to actually use a wee bit of Tombow glue and just slide it in. And then this one here just gets slide in just like that. Okay, now I'm going to bring in my card base, and I'm going to, of course I'm going to dimension this one onto there, because you know I like to keep Canada Post in business, pay the extra postage. But you could actually, if you're a beginner, or if you don't want dimensional, you can just glue it straight onto the card base. But I love my dimensionals, I love my bling, and there's not too much bling on these cards tonight. So, and okay, make sure these are all off. They are, and I'll just center this one on here. Now you could put a sentiment on this one. I opt not to, because I have the sending cheer on that one. So there's a card we made tonight. I'm just going to add a little bit more glue. I don't know if it's going to stick to the, just so it stays down. So there's that one. Now, so there's card number 1. Fairly easy to do, just time consuming is the fussy cutting, right? And this one here, I did these guys in white along with the branches, but this one here I did in the very vanilla, but I kind of like the very vanilla the best. Okay, so let's just put those two out of the spotlight, and we'll bring in this card here. So this one here, we are going to use these 2 pieces here. And sending cheer, yeah, we're going to use that one. I'm just going to put these guys back so I don't lose them. Okay. And so let's just, now this one here, I found it was easier to do the smaller pieces. So to do the leaves and the greenery on here, I found it was easier to do that first, to stamp that first, then to do the bigger one. That's just me though. Okay, so I'm just going to just show you a little secret. This piece here, if you're using the bottle, it will fit perfectly. Will it? Yeah, it will. It'll fit perfectly right on top of where you punch out your bottle. So I'm going to do that first. So with this one here, I have a piece of vellum, and I'll explain that. We're going to use some butterflies. We're going to use these really cool pieces that are in the new catalog, and I just ordered some more, and the container opened inside the box, and there's this flying everywhere. I thought it was sand at first, but I don't know if you guys can see those. They're iridescent. They're just beautiful, and they're all different sizes, which I think is pretty cool. So I'm putting the lid on this because I don't want to drop that. We have the vintage bottled shape domes, so we're going to need one of these. And in this package you get 10 of them. The writing's so small I can't even read it. That's terrible. So we need one of those. We're going to need some ink. So I've got Daffodil Delight, I got Pear Pizzazz, and I got Pacific Point. And that's just, Pacific Point is just for the sentiment on that one. Okay. Now we have our card bases. So I have a scrap piece of Balmy Blue. This is for this piece right here, and this is 3 by 4.5, and that's going to sit right there. Then I have my card base. And it looks like I got ink on my hand, so just give me a second. I'm just going to wipe them. And then we have the piece of this gorgeous paper. Now, I don't know about you guys. I was hesitant about buying this paper, and it's the Brushstroke. And it's like pearlized. It is really beautiful paper, like perfect for wedding cards, female cards. I did a card earlier this morning, and it's on my YouTube channel using this paper. Oh, it's just my favorite. So what you're going to do with this one here is I'm just going to just glue this right on to my card base. And it's really easy to do. And then when I put my paper on, what I like to do is start it like this and then just pull it up. That way all the excess ink, all the excess glue is going to be left behind, and it's going to give a more finished flat look. So that's the card base right there. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to take this piece out and we're going to punch out the bottle. So what I did is, this is the same width as a punch, and I have it pushed down right to the very bottom. So I'm hoping that, I'm just going to just bring it up a wee bit because I don't want to, make sure I have enough room for the flower. And then I'm just going to just punch that out just like that. So now we have our base for our flowers. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to bring in my Pear Pizzazz. I'm going to use this one first because this is going to have the leaves on it. And like I said, it's going to line up just like that. So you use the top of the bottle to line up your piece. And ink this up. And then I'm just going to push it on down like that. There we go. So there's that piece done. I'm going to move this out of the way because I know what will happen. And I'll bring in my Daffodil Delight and the second piece. So the second piece here is going to sit, oops, just like that. So this piece here on the die cut, or is it, maybe it's this one? Nope, it's this one. That piece there is going to sit perfectly right over top of the, oh, maybe not. Maybe I lied to you. Yeah, there we go. It's going to sit just like that, and we'll just ink this up just to make sure. I could be lying to you, though. Okay. Maybe it's... There we go. So see that piece right there actually fits right in the bottle. I'm hoping when I lift this up it works for me. And there we go. How easy was that? Okay, so now comes the fun part, is I'm going to bring my vellum back. Where did I put it? No, it's right in front of me. I'm going to bring my vellum back, and I'm going to just cut out a piece that's going to go to the back side of my bottle. I'm just going to just do it roughly because nobody's going to see the back side of it, but you want to make sure that your whole bottle is going to be covered. Okay, so now what I'm going to do now is I'm going to bring in my Pool Party, my dark Pool Party blends, and I'm just going to flip this over and I'm going to color the back side of this. So it gives an impression of water. Okay. Now comes the fun part. Okay, make sure I have all my pieces handy. So I have my bottle, which is going to go in like this. So what I'm going to do is just take this piece off. And I'm going to slide this piece in. And then push it down around the edges so it stays in place. Okay, now I'm going to just flip this piece over. I'm going to grab some of my little elements, and I should have a little spoon, because knowing me, I'll probably, just give me a second, I'll grab my spoon. Yeah. Oh, there it is. So you want to have a spoon for this, because you don't want to just take that and spill it everywhere. And you're going to just probably put just an, oh, see, there they go. Just enough to cover the bottom. Put your lid back on so you don't have them flying everywhere. And then grab one of your take a pick and then just lift this up just like that. And then take, oops, there's one flying around. So now you're going to take your piece of vellum and you're going to, the colored side you're going to have facing up at you, and you're going to cover that up. So now this is not going to go, these guys are not going to fly anywhere because now they're sealed inside that bottle, just like that. Okay, so now we got that done. So let us adhere it onto here. Because this isn't going to lie quite flat, oh, I forgot something. I'm going to put a piece of white cardstock in behind so you don't see the, just gonna crop, yeah, because if we did it like that, it looks like pink in behind, but if you do like that, it looks like blue and looks like water, right? So I'm just going to just, scissors, just cut this down and put this, okay, so there's the pink, and then there's the blue, and that's the effect I want, because I want to make it look like there's actual water in there. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to just put glue onto this part here, and I'm going to use my liquid glue for that one and just go around the outside. You don't want to go on the inside because it will get onto the vellum, and you don't want that to happen, right? You don't want to be able to see anything through the vellum. So just take this, put it over top of your vellum piece, and then voila, you have your, oh, I'm going to pull this up a bit this way. Oops, maybe it's not going to come up right away. Oh, there we go. Now it is blue instead of your pink. So this is going to go onto here, and because it's not flat for me, I am going to put dimensionals on the back side of that, and you will have to pay extra poaches because of the bottle that's on there. And then I like to reinforce the back side also in the corners with my dimensionals, so if it does pop off, you got like 2 layers of security, I guess you'd call it. So, and then we'll put one on the top there, and then a couple in the center. Okay. Oops, it's getting stuck here. And then we're going to just finish it off by adding a tag and some embellishments. And so it's going to go right into the center just like that. And then I'm going to bring in my linen thread and my bow maker. And I'm going to make a bow using my bow maker because it's so much easier for me. So all I'm going to do with this, now don't ask me where I bought this. I can't remember. I have had it forever. As you can see, I broke off one of the tongs in that. So what you do is you take your thread or your ribbon, whatever you're going to decide to do, and you're going to just take it and you're going to wrap it twice around, and then you're going to have a next where the top piece comes over the bottom piece. Then you bring the bottom piece around and stick it underneath like that, and make sure before you tie it in the knot, once you tie it in the knot, it's really hard to get out. So you want to make sure that your knot is, that your knot is in the center, just like that, and just pull it tight. Grab your scissors and then just take it off just like that. Now I'm going to adhere this using glue dots. So I'm going to bring in a glue dot, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to roll it, because see, the knot is pretty small and you don't want the glue dot to show, right? So bring it and roll it up as tight as you can, and then just put it at the neck of the bottle like that. So I'm not done yet. I've got to add some. So I'm going to bring in this piece right here. Add those two, put these guys away. And I'm going to bring in my Pacific point. I'm going to trim this off. Where's my cutting machine? Here we go. I'm going to bring in this, and I'm just going to cut probably about an inch. Is that about an inch? Yeah, just about an inch. And then I'm going to bring, it says sending cheer. I'm going to do this probably about in the middle of this piece right here. And put this guy away. Wipe my hands. And now I'm going to do is I'm going to, how did I do that one? I can't remember. It's that way. Let's hope this is straight. And that way. Oh, looks pretty good to me. So now this piece here is going to go in just like that. And I have a little tiny stapler that we used to have like a long time ago. I guess I should have did this before I put it all together. But anyhow, let's see if we can do this. Of course we can. But if you have a mini stapler, this will work too. And then just staple it right onto the card like that. So we're still not done. Got to add some embellishments. So now I've got the beautiful brassy butterflies. I don't even know if it's the BBBs. So I'm going to grab my Pick-a tool again, and I'm going to take a couple of these off and add them around my 3 of them. should maybe put one right in there. So there we have card number 2. So there's the one I did tonight. That was my, I guess the one my showcase one. And this is the showcase one. And then that is the one that I did earlier. This is the one I did. These are the ones, no. These are the ones on the left are the ones I did tonight. These are the ones that I did prior. So which one do you like better? You like the blue or the pink? I like them both because they're both completely different. But one's masculine. I would say that's more to the masculine side. And this one here is more feminine. Maybe it's because of the pink. But that's just my opinion. So you guys... Oh, thanks, Diana. Yeah, it's so easy to use. This stamp set I thought it would be really tough to use, but like I said, once you figure it out, use the bottle top. It works perfectly. And if you notice on here, I just used plain vellum. This one here has the vellum with a little bit of writing on it. I think it adds more character. Yeah. So there we have it. So I want to thank you for joining me tonight. A little bit longer than normal, and I really appreciate you guys being here. So patient with me. If you guys have any questions, please let me know. If you don't have a demonstrator in Canada and you need somebody to help you out, I'd love to help you out. And I think that's about it. I'm just going to do one more thing. Is the He's the Man card class. So you'll receive half a package of the Designer Series paper. You'll receive a full sheet of these. There's 2 sheets in the actual package. You'll receive 7.5 yards of the linen thread, and you'll receive half a package of the rustic metallic adhesive dots. We will do 4 cards, but there is homework. I gotta stipulate that. There is homework. You will, because I'm sending this out to you, you will need to cut this down to do the cards. But we'll worry about that when the class happens. Class will be on June the 9th at 6:30 p.m. Winnipeg time, and payment and your RSVP needs to be to me by the 16th so I can order and have the stuff sent to me, because I have to cut this up and send it out to you guys. So I need to have the payment by the 16th. So you're going to make 4 cards. You'll get half a package of the DSP, a full sheet of this, half a package of the rustic metallic adhesive dots, and half a roll of the linen thread for $35, and postage is included, so I'll look after the postage on that. So if you guys have any questions, please let me know. If not, I'll see you here next Tuesday at 7 o'clock. Okay, guys. Thanks. Appreciate it. See you later. Bye.